This newscast is brought to you by Qberg, Pittsburgh's source for LGBTQ plus news and community information. Learn more about Qberg by visiting their website, qberg.com. That's QBURGH.com. From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are covering at this hour. With the government shutdown in the balance, here are some of the things Democratic U.S. senators are saying. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada said she is still weighing the impact of her vote. So that's a maybe. Senator Maria Cantwell of Washington is quoted as saying, "It's so important for my state to have infrastructure investment. They're cutting 40% out of the Army Corps of Engineers. The lifeblood of my state is growing agriculture product and getting it to destinations all around the globe." She said she'd be voting no on the continuing resolution. Senator Tina Smith of Minnesota, "I'm voting no on the CR. I believe the CR would do terrible damage." It's not even a CR. It's a new bill written exclusively by Republicans that would do great damage to Minnesota. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island said the real danger here is this Trump-Musk cabal that is out to break the government, destroy agencies, fire off thousands of people, ruined government services. Also, they can give data, probably, and tax breaks to billionaires. He said he'd vote no on the resolution. And Senator Ben Lujan of New Mexico is quoted as saying, "Colleagues are having to make those decisions. If you're asking if I support Chuck Schumer, I support Chuck Schumer. And I announced I'll be voting no. And right now, that's where I'm standing." Well, as if that were not enough word salad, apparently Secretary of State Marco Rubio doesn't know the meaning of words like tariff or ally. Marco Rubio says the Trump administration's tariffs are about making fair trade. He told reporters Friday after the group of 7 foreign ministers meeting in Canada that Trump wants to charge other countries what they charge us. Rubio acknowledged that those benefiting from previous arrangements likely do feel it is hostile to change the status quo. But he said this is not meant as a hostile move against Japan or Germany or anybody else. This is about balancing and fairness and trade. Tariffs and other Trump policies overshadowed the meeting of G7 allies, but they were able to find consensus on peace in Ukraine and other topics. Speaking of Canada, we now have this news about Canada. Justin Trudeau is no longer the Prime Minister of Canada. Mark Carney was sworn in as Canada's new Prime Minister as his country deals with the previously mentioned Trump trade war. Carney, a former Goldman Sachs executive with no experience in politics, becomes Canada's 24th Prime Minister and will now try to steer his country through Trump's trade war. Carney has said he's ready to meet with Trump if he shows, quote, respect for Canadian sovereignty and is willing to take a common approach, a much more comprehensive approach for trade. Trump put 25% tariffs on Canada's steel and aluminum and is threatening sweeping tariffs of all Canadian products as of April 2nd. He has threatened economic coercion in his annexation threats and suggested the border is a fictional line. And we close with this news about former U.S. Senate candidate in Pennsylvania, Dr. Mehmet Oz. A Senate Finance Committee hearing has begun for Trump's pick to lead the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. The 64-year-old Oz was a respected heart surgeon who became a popular TV pitchman. Now, Trump wants him to oversee health insurance for about 150 million Americans, including me. Republicans likely will ask Oz how he'll trim fraud from Medicare and Medicaid. Democrats will probably focus on cuts he would make to insurance coverage and his televised comments supporting privatized Medicare. That's the news at this hour. Download the Live 365 app to take PEP Radio with you wherever you go. Be sure to subscribe to the PEP Radio channel on YouTube and follow us on Blue Sky. Now back to more music here on PEP Radio.